Unmasking the hidden poisons in your food. Imagine every bite you take, every meal you savor could be laced with unseen dangers. These hidden poisons lurk in the shadows of our food supply, waiting to strike. But fear not, for today we unveil the truth. Join us as we delve deep into the world of food safety, exposing the threats that lie beneath the surface. From artificial sweeteners to preservatives, are you ready to uncover the secrets? Let's begin.
Let's be honest, we've all been there. You're at the grocery store, faced with a wall of yogurt, and you think, wow, that vibrant shade of electric blue really screams healthy gut flora. These chemical concoctions are designed to trick your senses into thinking you're eating something far more appealing than it actually is.
Oh yes, fresh fruits and vegetables, nature's candy. Except when they're covered in enough pesticides to make a bee say, "No thanks, I'm good." Farmers need to protect their crops, and pesticides are a tool, albeit a blunt one, in their arsenal. But the problem is, these chemical residues don't just magically disappear after the harvest. They can linger on our produce, and ultimately in our bodies. Choosing organic produce can help, but let's be real. Organic food is often more expensive. Remember those tiny plastic beads that used to be in your face wash? Well, surprise. They have friends, and they're showing up in our food and beverages. We're talking about microplastics, those tiny fragments of plastic that are so ubiquitous they're practically seasoning at this point. Studies suggest we consume about 5 grams of microplastics per week.
Let's talk about sugar, specifically the high fructose corn syrup variety, the Frankenstein's monster of sweeteners. This highly processed, cheap-to-produce syrup has become a ubiquitous ingredient in everything from soda to bread to salad dressing. The problem with high fructose corn syrup is that our bodies process it differently than regular sugar. This can lead to a whole host of health problems, including obesity, type 2 diabetes, and fatty liver disease. Remember when we thought margarine was the healthier alternative to butter?
Turns out, we were all victims of a decades-long marketing campaign by the food industry. Trans fats have been linked to an increased risk of heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. The good news is, trans fats are slowly being phased out of many processed foods, but they're still lurking out there. Artificial sweeteners too good to be true?
In our quest for guilt-free sweetness, we've turned to artificial sweeteners like aspartame and sucralose. The jury is still out on the long-term health effects of artificial sweeteners, but some studies suggest they may actually contribute to weight gain and metabolic disorders.
Processed meats, the culinary equivalent of a guilty pleasure.
But have you ever wondered how those deli meats manage to stay so unnervingly pink?
The answer is sodium nitrate, a preservative that's as controversial as it is common. While sodium nitrate does help prevent the growth of harmful bacteria, it's also been linked to an increased risk of certain cancers. Bisphenol A, or BPA, is a chemical found in some food packaging, like those hard plastic water bottles and the lining of canned goods. BPA has a nasty habit of leaching into our food and drinks, especially when exposed to heat. Once inside our bodies, BPA acts like a hormone disruptor, potentially contributing to a whole host of health problems.
The final bite taking control of our food choices. The food industry has spent decades normalizing the presence of these questionable ingredients in our food. But here's the good news. We have the power to vote with our wallets. By choosing whole, unprocessed foods as often as possible, we can send a message to the food industry. Arm yourself with information, read labels, and don't be afraid to ask questions.
As we move forward, it's crucial to stay informed and vigilant about the food we consume. The future of food safety lies in our hands, and together, we can make healthier choices for a better tomorrow.